welcome back to Madridista Notes. There is lots to talk about, so let's get on with the first bit of news and report from today. The report came out, news came out from Spanish outlet Marca that we all know and love to hate. Marca, the Spanish outlet which covers Real Madrid by a lot of extent, they have came out with the story confirming Real Madrid's interest and love for Joško Gvardiol from RB Leipzig. Joško Gvardiol is a Croatian defender who is currently playing in Leipzig, who came from the Dinamo Zagreb, the infamous Dinamo Zagreb youth setup. And so there are a lot of, right now, a lot of interest in him because he was having a really good season last season too for RB Leipzig, and he has started the season well this season too. But what happened during the World Cup while he was playing as a starting 11, starting center back, playing as a starting center back for Croatia in the World Cup, totally took a lot of people by surprise who didn't really know about the profile of Joško Gvardiol. They were a little taken back by how much quality this young player has, because we follow the European football, the European clubs who are mostly, I would say, in Champions League and Europa League. I would say when I'm following clubs who are not playing in La Liga, I follow mostly the clubs who are in the European places. So, of course, as we have been playing RB Leipzig, I think we got them last season too, and we got them this season too in the Champions League group stages. So I am a little bit. I have seen him play against us, and I have seen him really excel against us when we played RB Leipzig this season too. He was one of the standout performers, and we can see what kind of defender he is. He is really good at aerial duels. He is really good at ground duels. He is physically not something to not take seriously. He is physically imposing. He is good with his feet too. He is being dubbed as the from some of the football world as the maybe the heir to Sergio Ramos if we sign him, of course. So that's why Real Madrid are showing a lot of interest in him. And according to Marca, Real Madrid have been monitoring him for quite some time, and we are still making the decision to evaluating if we are going to go for him in the summer window, in the coming summer window. And we will definitely have steep competition from Chelsea, Manchester United, could be Paris Saint-Germain, could be Bayern Munich. But the most we are hearing that we will have to compete for his signing is Chelsea, because there were some rumors and reports coming out in the last summer that Chelsea bid something astronomical like 90 million euro or something bid. But then he renewed his contract with RB Leipzig, so he has a long contract now with RB Leipzig. So if we are to buy him out of that contract, I think minimum 80-90 million would be required, or whoever is interested in signing him. So let's check some of his stats, some of his weakness, some of his strength, and if we look at these information that's laid out in front of us here, his contract is until 30th of June 2027. So he has signed a 5-year deal. So that's a really long contract. So all the negotiation power is uh, controlled by RB Leipzig here. They will quote a price. If you are ready to pay that price, you can sign just Gvardiol. If not, then yeah, tada, that's it. Nationality is Croatian. He's 20 years of age, and in a month he will be 21 years old. But so right now, let's say he's 20 years. 186 centimeter of height, so he is not something to scoff about. He is tall enough for a defender. His preferred foot is left, so he will be playing in the position if he is playing for Real Madrid. That is, he will be playing in the position of David Alaba. That's for sure. Um, so we have in the right, we in the on the right side we have right now uh, Eder Militao, and Eder Militao hasn't really given us any problems or any kind of massive headaches to replace him, because he has been a standout performer for Real Madrid right now too, and we have signed Antonio Rudiger to compete for the third center half position. He can play, I think, right side. He can play on the left side of the center back. I think he is more flexible. So if we are signing Joško Gvardiol, I think he will definitely be competing for the left center back position. And from the reports that are coming out, that Mendy is the same reports coming out. Marca has reported that Falan Mendy could be in a deal like Casemiro because of his contract situation. We are not looking to um, extend his contract. So we will look to just get as much money as we can through the transfer, through how we transfer him to another club, and replace him with David Alaba and Fran Garcia is my guess. Fran Garcia, we have a scar. He is a former Castilla player. We sold him to Rayo Vallecano, and he played magnificent in the game against Real Madrid just before the World Cup. So we are looking at him, Fran Garcia, and I think we will move David Alaba to the left back permanently if we sign Gavardiol and have Gavardiol, Militao, and Rudiger duke it out between themselves. So let's get on with it. His value is estimated here at 55 million euros. That's nowhere near where he for how much he will be sold. It will be minimum 90 million euros, I think, because his stock is so high right now. His strength are ground duels and ball control. He has a really good ball control for a defender. I think maybe in the youth setup in Croatia, where he was playing in Dinamo Zagreb. Maybe in his earlier years, he played more as a ball player. So he has a really good ball control and ball progressing ability. So that's really important because Sergio Ramos used to do it for us a lot. So yeah, that's why I think they liken him more to Sergio Ramos. But we'll have to see in the World Cup 2022, we can see that the ratings here that he has gotten are really good ratings. Against Argentina, the whole Croatia team was crap. So we can just forget about that one. That's really not much to talk about that one. He was really magnificent throughout the World Cup, wherever he was played, how he played. In each match, he pulled his own weight. The hit map, we can see he drives with the ball till the opposition over the opposition half. So we can see he can interchange with the left back because the hit map here is really dark. So yeah, he can drive forward with the ball. So his ball control and ball progression abilities are totally on play here. Uh, Matches played, he has played in total 7 matches in the World Cup. He has started 7 matches, and minutes per game are 99. So let's check out his passing statistics. 87.4 touches. Accurate per game is 66.1. Okay, passing accuracy is 90%. That's That's really good. We can't really scoff at it, even if he just passes sideways or the safe passes. Even if he does that, that's a really good accuracy of passing. Own half accuracy is 97%. Opposition half is 76%. That's really good. That's really good numbers. Long balls accuracy is 62%. He has done long balls, 3.4 long balls, and the chipped passes accuracy is 53%. Really, really good numbers. Accurate crosses, there was no crossing. Let's check his defending during the World Cup. Clean sheets, 2 interception per game, 1.6. That's really good. Tackles per game, 1.3. Maybe that can be. He will improve on this as he gets more experience. Possession one, I think he will go as he gains more experience and gets more game time under his belt. These will improve too. Dribbled pass per game 0.4, that's really good. Clearance per game 5.3, that's really good too. So the dribble, successful dribbles. He tried a successful dribble, 100%, 0.1. Duels won. So this is really important. Duels won 51%. So he wins one out of two duels. I think that can be improved definitely. Ground duels 55% won. Aerial duels won 38%. Okay, that's a bit of problematic because in aerial duels we have Rudiger who is really good. Militao is good too. So I think they whoever will play in the right center back position will have to cover a little bit for Gvardiol there. I think Gvardiol needs to really definitely improve his aerial duels. This side of his gameplay. Possessions lost 8 times. All right, fouls and blah blah blah. Okay, that's it for the World Cup. Let's check out his Bundesliga stats for a little bit. Uh, Not as impressive as in the World Cup, but it's understandable. Leipzig plays a really pressing game, really attacking game, and so most lots of time the defense can get isolated, and high scoring matches are expected in the Bundesliga a lot of the times. So it's really understandable in the Bundesliga the defenders will have a harder time to keep clean sheets and all around defensive game when you come to La Liga or if he goes to Premier League his defensive stats will definitely improve. That's because the teams are more structured defensively, solid defensive on a more solid defensive structure. Even if it is Real Madrid, as we like to play attacking football, but we don't really ignore our defensive structure, ignore our defensive capabilities. So his defensive stats and his defensive gameplay that will definitely improve when he moves out of the Leipzig and Bundesliga. He has played 13 matches in total this season so far, started 8 of them, minutes per game 59. Okay, so he is not, I would say, quote unquote, guaranteed starter, but he is one of the players who um, I would say he, first 11 player, not a guaranteed, but first 11. Minutes per game, okay. Attacking, not much to see. Passing, here 268 touches. Key passes, accurate passes per game 89%. Okay, that's close to how we saw in the World Cup. Accuracy in own half 96%. That's good. Opposition half 78%. That didn't really change much from what we saw in the World Cup statistics. long balls 51% accurate, and chipped passes 38%. So most of the stuff are really totally similar here from the passing part of his game. So it looks like he is consistent in his passing. In defending, interception per game 0. 0.6. Yeah, we talked about he needs to improve these things. Tackles 0. 0.4. Possession 1 0. 0.2. Dribble pass per game 0. 0.3. Really good. Clearance per game 1.5. Needs to improve. Error led to shot 1. That's really good. Only one error which led to shot. So dribbles 89, total duels 162%, needs to improve on that. Ground duels 167%, and aerial duels 153%. Now it looks better. In the World Cup, it looked a little bit worse, but when we check more on a wider range of statistics, then we can see that it doesn't look as problematic, but he can definitely improve on his defensive stats here, his defensive game here. Position lost 6.5, that's good, not as bad. Was fouled, okay. That's it. So it looks like we are, if we sign him, we are gonna get a really reliable passing out from the back kind of defender. If we are looking to play a passing game and we are looking to build up from the back, he will be really important. Um, he doesn't have any I would say really glaring problems when it comes to defending or in his game, glaring problems as a player. I wouldn't say there are many problems here. So he is an all-around defender. He has room to improve, of course, but he already has things in his game that gives us an idea that with proper coaching, with proper if it's taken care of properly, there is something elite in him that we will see in the next decade. So if Real Madrid decides after evaluating their options for the next season and what they want to, or where they want to spend the next season's budget, I wouldn't be against signing Joško Gvardiol. So that's my evaluation, and uh, that's what I had to say on the Joško Gvardiol issue and Joško Gvardiol signing. Now let's move on to some other reports that are coming out. One of the reports are coming out that Nacho's continuity at Real Madrid is not guaranteed. According to Marca, Real Madrid hasn't yet offered a new contract, or Nacho. There are conflicting reports coming on. Nacho doesn't want to continue if his role is going to be the same as has been this season after signing off, I would say, Rudiger. His role in the team really decreased because Rudiger is the first player to come off the bench if we need a center back to be replaced, or if we need to give one of the center backs rest, or if one of them gets injured. Between Alaba and Militao, the first name that comes out is of course Rudiger, and then Nacho, and when we need to rest, maybe Mendy, we just move Alaba to the left back and move Rudiger to in Alaba's place. So his contribution has decreased. So if he wants to continue as a more first 11 to fighting for his place, at least as a third center back in a team like fighting for the title in a Champions League place or Europa League places, I think he will want to move if he wants to look for better minute, more opportunities in the first team. Then that argument will have some weight. So we'll have to wait and see. And I already talked about the Ferland Mendy issue, that Real Madrid are not really offering him a contract extension. For some reason, the Real Madrid higher ups are not really satisfied with his game, with how he has evolved. I don't know if there is something else in the background, but we have been hearing these mutterings for some time about Mendy, that if an offer comes, we have heard it last summer, even before last summer, that if an offer set an offer comes that satisfies Real Madrid, then they will consider the sale of Mendy. So it looks like there are some people in the management, in the board, who do not really appreciate the profile of Ferland Mendy, but Carlo Ancelotti appreciates him. Zinedine Zidane used to appreciate him. I don't know. I am not in the Real Madrid board, so I don't know what they're thinking. He is a really, really good defensive-minded fullback, and we haven't had a defensive-minded fullback since a long time. It was a breath of fresh air, because that side, whenever he plays on the left hand side, that side is totally locked. Whoever is the right winger, um, they never have any fun playing in the right wing against Falan Mendy. He is so strong, and he is aerially really good too. So during the corners, so when and free kicks, when we have to head the balls out, he is really good at dealing with them. I have always liked his gameplay. Maybe he is not as great as Marcelo when it comes to the other half of the pitch, but Marcelo wasn't as great in defensive minded gameplay too. He was had a lot of errors. So when it came to the defensive side of the game, Marcelo wasn't really an all-around defender. He was great as a wingback to play an attacking, full-on attacking game, but when it comes to the defensive side of the fullback, Marcelo had lots of problems. So if you want a fully all-around defender who will just go up and down, up and down, up and down, and keep both sides happy, both sides of the pitch. You will have fun in both sides of the pitch. You are just expecting too much of a player. So I think he is doing his role as good as possible, and maybe he doesn't play his best game in every game, and that's nothing. Most of the players don't do that anyway. So I think it's a non-issue that Real Madrid is making. I think they just want to see a different profile of a fullback because of Marcelo, Carvajal, Roberto Carlos. Even though Roberto Carlos was good, really, really good in defensive side of the game. So maybe they appreciate something else, and they will look for that in the summer window in Fran Garcia, maybe, or we can bring back Miguel Gutierrez. We'll have to wait and see, and then evaluate what to do. And there are some more reports coming out. It was from Dario AS that Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti asked for reinforcement in the forward line in the summer, and he's asking for it again in January. And Real Madrid higher ups denied it again. And that's got to be really, really frustrating for Carlo Ancelotti, as much as it is frustrating the Real Madrid fan base, because the lack of foresight for the Real Madrid higher ups, the board, is a little bit of bamboozling. Like they are trying to sabotage Real Madrid by themselves. Like you can see there is something missing in the attack. You just need to bolster the attack a little bit more, a little bit quality, and we can grind out some more results in the La Liga. Because whenever there isn't any Benzema, and if he gets injured, if he's not on form, we cannot really, when he's not on form and he is struggling with his body a little bit, we cannot really substitute him because we have no substitute. Mariano is waste of space in the squad right now. Jovic was a waste of space, so we just let him go for free to Fiorentina. Can you imagine the player we bought for 60 million euros? We let him go to Fiorentina for free because he was such a flop, such a disastrous signing. And because of these flops in the striking positions, the board is really, really scared to make signings now. That's even more dumb. Like you made some mistakes, yeah, not every signing is gonna bang, but you have to keep going. You have to keep just until you have to do your scouting better. You have to look at the profile of the player, how the coach wants the team to play, and then go and sign a player like that. If you're making mistakes, just redo it and try to not do the mistake next time. And just I don't know what they're thinking. It's really frustrating. And the option for Cristiano Ronaldo is still on the table. If we are serious about it, I think so. As I was talking about, the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo can be possible if our higher ups are serious about it, and we really need um signing in the forward line to bolster it, to buff up the quality in attack at the very least. And while I am talking about Gvardiol, new reports came out from journalist Matteo Moretto. Even though Real Madrid is interested in Gvardiol, Chelsea are the team who are still in pole position. Chelsea has already dealt with RB Leipzig recently. They have signed Nkunku from there for around 60 million, 67 million or something euros, and they have a direct line, I'm guessing, and they are not shy to oh, pay the asking price from the teams. The new owner is really not someone who is gonna chip out. So we will have to fight really hard if we want to sign Gavardiol. So yeah, that's that. So there are some other news related to Real Madrid right now. Oh yeah, and that was the mentality of the players just before the World Cup started. Ancelotti wasn't happy with the players, how they were totally focused on the World Cup and were not really focused on the last games before the World Cup. And um, the report comes from the outlet Relevo. Ancelotti was disappointed in the last weeks before the World Cup. Him and the staff noticed that the players focused only on the World Cup. After the game versus Rayo Vallecano, he raised his voice in the dressing room and received a response from Luka Modric. And more from Relevo is that Ancelotti fears that the return from the World Cup may bring a strange feeling in the players' mentality and physicality. So that's the fear for most teams. I think whoever are fighting for titles and fighting to stay in the title races for Champions League, La Liga, that the teams who had the most and more players playing in the World Cup are the teams who are in danger. So Real Madrid are one of them. So of course we will have to plan our second half of the season accordingly, and we'll have to somehow remotivate our players. It's like a new season starting. It's like just like the start of a new season. So we have to start from the scratch again. We cannot really think about is as the continuation of the season. It's like a second part of the season, a full second part of the season. So yeah, I hope and pray that the management takes good care of that situation for us. And what came out from Relevo, that was evident from how the team played and how much point we lost before in the La Liga race just before the World Cup, that the players were playing with something on the back of their mind. They were a little bit scared to get injured and stuff like that. And so, of course, Ancelotti and the staff noticed it. That's normal because they see them day in, day out, how they normally perform, how they normally behave on the pitch. And if something changes, of course, they are going to notice it. And it's definitely noticeable. So, whichever players were doing it to the detrimental of the team, I would say they deserve some kind of punishment for it, maybe some time on the bench and give the other players some chances, the chances that these players got, and save their bodies and stuff like that. So you went to World Cup, and none of you really won the World Cup. None of the players in Real Madrid are Argentine. So yeah, there was no World Cup winner in the Real Madrid team. I understand that the playing for the country, of course, is such an honor, and it's um, definitely a different level. But your employer is Real Madrid. They are paying you astronomical wages. You have to do the minimum, and the minimum in Real Madrid is giving your all for 90 minutes, and that's it. If you didn't do it, you deserve some backlash from it. From the, I hope the coaching team deals with it accordingly. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever you were. Hopefully you have a good time. And if you enjoyed it, kindly like, subscribe, and comment. See you next time.